Hey there, what's happening? Sorry that was loud. It is Saturday, August 7th, 2021. My name is Jenna Mammina. This is 11:11 with Jenna. I am here 7 days at 11:11 a.m., 7 nights at 11:11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 14 times a week. Right here from Zoom to Facebook. And I need to at least lip up here or something before I go any further. I was watching. I'm intrigued. I'm in the last show of Making the Cut. I love Making the Cut. I love fashion. I love couture. I loved Project Runway, and this is Amazon's version of Project Runway with Heidi, and it's just so great. And I'm in the last, I watched it until about 11:07, I think, so I could get up here. Hey, who's here? What? Edit privacy, go into public. Now we're public, and now I can see who's there. Now there are 5 of you here and 2 of you. William, Carl, Patty, Julie, Patty. Wow. Hi guys, core group. What's happening tomorrow night? Okay, let's just talk really quick, just for a second here. I know, I did. My mom goes, Jenna, it's 11:07. I go, I know, but it's just so exciting. So if you're a Project Runway person and you haven't seen Making the Cut, I suggest Making the Cut. Hello, Rob Morocco. Oh, in answer to your thunder shirt idea for Lillian, 2 things. She's had 2 of them, and she does not like Velcro. So to wrap her up in Velcro, the wrapping up thing, I've swaddled, done the whole thing. She's like, she shakes from like her soul. So, but for some dogs, I know the thunder shirt is the bomb. She has this supplement that I give her sometimes that seems to work, but sometimes she's just really, really shaky. So, okay, so super cool. Last night, I loved Carol. Thank you so much, Carol. You are just absolutely an absolute remarkable, super cool, genius, artist, painter, person, and I can't wait to be in the same room with you and your paintings, and Rob and Stephanie and Zoe, and I wonder what Zoe and Lillian are going to be like. Lillian's kind of particular, but just remarkable. And thank you so much. And I can't wait to see the beginning of the next painting and watch into, that's going to be its own show. Carol's paintings. Carol's painting. She's going to start a new painting, and hopefully we'll see it towards the beginning, and then we'll see the progression. Oh, wow. No. Absolutely. I'm completely honored. So thank you. And hell of a cameraman you got. You should put him on the payroll. Rob, go buy her some more paint and brushes. I think she needs new paint. Anyway, and then this morning, the Chalk the Block. Did you guys see the Chalk? I need to post some of the photos from Chalk the Block. Unbelievable. My goodness, people. Hey, Mary Carson. I miss you. I love you. Hi. Mary Carson. I walked by Newburyport today. So Chalk the Block. I'll post some photos right after this class. Oh gosh, I have 3 different classes that I'm taking online right now. One's kind of a business thing, and the other ones are health and, just stuff that I like to learn about, kind of some creative. One is working with something that I've done a lot of, but I'm studying with someone with my art of movement that I do with Parkinson's and MS patients and stuff, and it's just at it's sort of like at the end of a module that's really exciting, and I know I'm just talking all over the place. So Chalk the Block was cool, and then I went to that River Fest today, and I saw the Michael Jackson impersonator. I could have stayed there all night and danced with him. I wanna rock with you, yeah. And the way you make me feel. But then I had to get back for Chalk on the Block. And Lillian and I ran into some friends, and we went to I did a lot today, but something even more exciting happens on Saturday nights, ladies and gentlemen. One more Saturday night with Gary Lambert. Hey, I had that same hat on today. I should go put it back
Hello.
on. Hello.
I am not in a train station in New Haven.
You are not. What? That was so beautiful.
That was really fun.
Really, really beautiful.
I was glad it worked.
And you got home okay?
Got home okay, very late, but happy. And yeah, it was a nice little train ride, and I would do that again.
Have you been on a train since?
Subway, yes. Subwayed into Brooklyn last night to
Oh, who did you
do some.
see?
Um, this band called
Anyone?
Band of Changes, which is the project of a singer songwriter named Chris Harford, who's kind of a cool, like, it's got kind of a Neil Young vibe. He covers Neil Young songs, but his own stuff is kind of that proto grunge kind of,
Hmm.
Neil Young kind of vibe. And his band is, these guys have been playing together for 20 years, and it's 3/5 of J-Rad. It's Joe
Okay.
Russo and Dave Drywitz and Scott Metzger backing up Chris. And Chris is also he's a visual artist, so he does his own light show. He's got like projections happening, like on behind the stage, and on the side walls of the venue. This was that same venue that I saw Sex Mob at, Industry City in Brooklyn, which has turned into just a wonderful summer destination. So that was really fun. And then I got very little sleep last night. I got home from that kind of late, and then I had some work related, like time intensive correspondence I had to get off. So that took me way into the wee small hours of the morning. So I was kind of useless today, but I got to watch the Yankees win,
Oh, good.
which is always the Yankees are turning it around. They suddenly I was really ready to give up on this season, and suddenly they're back. They're in contention. It's
That's
looking good.
exciting.
Yeah, so that's always good to be really engaged in baseball when your team is doing well. And
It is really
yeah,
fun.
yeah,
Baseball, basketball. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I agree.
yeah.
Any epic food adventures in Brooklyn
Uh,
last night? On the way back?
no, well, Industry City, they have good food there. They have hometown barbecue has their branch there at Industry City. So I had a like a home smoked pastrami sandwich from there last night before I went to the show.
Wow.
And tonight I had an exemplary burger, which I made with cheddar, and that was just what I needed to revive me somewhat.
You better watch out for the Blue Jays.
Oh
According
yeah,
to
the Blue
Bob
Jays are
Rocker.
coming. The Blue Jays are playing well. They just lost. Um, oh no, yeah, they split a doubleheader with the Red Sox
Oh,
tonight. So that was like a half and half deal. Um, yeah, it's getting interesting. The season is getting interesting. So, and there's a little less than 2 months left, so anything can happen. The
that's true.
A's are still hanging in there.
Yeah, I've read about that. I've kind of kept up on that a little bit.
Yeah, although we don't know if the A's are hanging in Oakland. That seems to be very, very on the bubble again. Whether they're going to leave or if Oakland's going to come through, and it's crazy. I'd hate Oakland to lose yet another team.
I, yeah,
Oakland deserves better.
The Warriors should have never left Oakland. I'm sorry.
That's I think that was very bad for their karma. They've had two terrible seasons since they left.
Horrible karma.
Yeah.
Horrible karma. And y'all should have never left. Yeah,
Hmm.
Yankees because they have our Rizzo.
Yeah, they got Rizzo and Gallo in the same week, and they've both been doing good. I'm really happy
Yeah,
about those guys. And guys with named Rizzo and Gallo should be in the Bronx.
they should be in the
You
Bronx.
know, they should
That
they
makes
shouldn't
sense.
be they shouldn't be playing for Minnesota or whoever. They should be in the Bronx. Rizzo and Gallo, come on.
Careful. Hello, Melanie's more. Melanie's here. Patty's here.
Hello,
So let's see.
Melanie.
California,
Patty.
Illinois, Michigan. Got those Canadians up there. Let me think what else. Who's here? Oh, Julie, Central California, another Michigan, Mama Grace,
Hi,
William,
Mama
more
Grace.
Michigan. I see we have no coast. Oh, and Gary, coast to coast. There we
That's
are.
right. I I will always represent.
We have all three coasts.
Good. Good. Let's get some Gulf Coast. Let's get a few other coasts.
I'm down. They
My
call this
brother,
the third coast, you know.
yeah, my brother and his wife are going to the Amalfi Coast in October.
Wow.
Lucky them.
Really?
Yeah, my sister-in-law's two sisters uh, decided we're going to the Amalfi Coast, and you guys are coming with us. And
How
so
fabulous.
yeah, I'm happy for them.
Are they cruising or are they going?
Oh no, no, they're you know,
Okay.
they're
'Cause
not they're
there's
not
some
cruising
amazing
types.
cruises out of that area. I'm
I'm
seeing a
sure.
lot of posts of bands out doing live shows, local and otherwise. Other, yeah. I'm. So Carl's in a band.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Jay Franklin, Texas, Gulf Coast. There you
All right.
go, brother. How are
There
you?
there we go.
He's been seeing a lot of posts of bands out doing live shows. Yeah, a lot of people are on tour. Marcus is on tour. Billy's on tour.
Yeah, it's you know, it's a big question mark. We didn't think it was going to be as big a question mark, but the breakthrough infections and the unvaccinated people and now actually some of the promoters and the venues are cracking down and saying we will only let in vaxxed people with a negative, vax people with a negative test or people with a negative test. They're, they're getting a little more emphatic about policies. So it's weird how the situation is evolving while all this stuff is happening, while the tours are on. But I guess it's the only way they could find out in some ways. You know.
I was reading an article the other day about um, Lollapalooza,
Oh yeah.
and then people talking about festivals that are not coming back till 2022
Yes.
and festivals that are happening, and they didn't mention New Orleans. Either
Yeah.
way,
Oh. Well, New Orleans is happening. I mean, it's on sale.
it's
It's
it's happening, but I don't know how they're going to do indoor shows.
Oh, you mean the indoor shows away from the fairgrounds? You mean the that yeah, that's I mean, that's
Mine, for
interesting.
instance, my show, for
Yeah.
instance, if
Yeah.
that happens,
Well, the hotel will have to decide how many people they'll let in, I guess, how they can distance.
are
You
they
know, and
only going to allow the hotel guests to come in,
yeah.
that kind of
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah. And then again by October, the protocols could be different again. Maybe they could be loosened up again if there's more compliance. Or if they
Do you
change.
really think it's going to go that way, though?
Well, there is now active campaigning going on. Like in some of the states that were the most resistant, like the governor of Mississippi is now just like, who was,
Must be.
you know, she's now saying everybody has to get vaccinated after not saying it for
Mhm.
a year and a half, of course, which is ridiculous. But like some of those states are now starting to realize the impact. They should have anticipated it rather than realize it after the fact, but now they're realizing it. So um, it's interesting. There's a lot of now leaning toward educating people. Who people thought were not educable. People thought were not reachable. Um, but they are. And I also saw something interesting that of the unvaccinated, as many as 43% are not are not failing to get vaccinated because of some belief or skepticism about vaccines. It's a lot of very poor people who just don't have, you know, they have not been availed of the information. Um, they are fearful of losing their jobs. Like they're fearful about their livelihoods being affected. It's there are all kinds of reasons that people are not getting vaccinated that have nothing to do with you know the anti-vax movement. It isn't all resistance to vaccination. Some of it is just lack of information getting to people. So it's going to be. I mean, we've never dealt with anything like this before, and that's why, you know. Just saw your message. Yes. Yeah. I urge everyone to do it. So, uh, and I am personally dealing. I mean, with. Uh, I've been this week has been very intense for me because I've been engaged in some business conversations relating to my uh, involvement in the upcoming Dead and Company tour,
Okay.
which I didn't know whether I was going to have any involvement in all at all, and this has been a source of incredible anxiety and mystery, and yet because of the nature of this tour, being so very different, the protocols. I mean, I don't know how many shows I will have an involvement. I know this. I can't go into too much detail because it's still like,
Awesome.
you know, uh, I'll be able to let you know a lot more next Saturday.
That
Uh,
means Mary's going on tour with the Dead, and it's going to
no,
be
I'm not.
so
I'm
cool.
not going. I may not be going on tour. My involvement may mostly be at home,
Oh, really? On the couch?
maybe on the couch.
But you'll be
Still,
virtually part of the whole.
yeah. I mean, the thing is, if I were to go to the shows, I could have no in person interaction with the musicians or my friends who work for the band or anything because they are in the bubble. They are backstage is on complete lockdown, except for those people who are pre-approved full-time members of the touring operation. So it would be a very strange tour for me to be on physically because it would be like I wasn't there. So we
You
are
could be in
working.
your own little bus.
That would involve levels of expense and investment that uh, you know
I'm like, yeah, I
no
know.
that no one considers worthwhile except me. So no one. If I hit the lottery, I would go on the road in my own little bus. But it's fine. If I have some working connection to the tour and it's all at home, it'll be strange,
Right.
but it'll be fine. And so I'll know more. There's going to be some stuff formalized over the next few days, and I'll be able to tell you more about it. Um,
So you think that it's okay to be out there touring?
no, not entirely. I'm not assured of anything. I mean that's the scary thing because of the variants and because of the vaccine reluctance on some people's part or resistance or whatever you want to call it. There are all these kind of incalculable um, things, that no one can really figure out how to deal with it. Do they just like lay down the absolute law and say, no one can come here unless they meet a certain standard of eligibility in terms of health, in terms of vaccine status, in terms of negative tests, all that stuff. And it's never been dealt with before. So, and because there is no standard, actually,
Hmm.
Live Nation just came out with a thing saying that that any band or any promoter that they are involved with this summer has the discretion to say has to be all vaxxed, has to be have to produce a negative test. Others may be less controlling, but we'll see. It's so I'm not entirely confident. I'm not entirely comfortable. I don't know if I'll want to be in the middle of big crowds. I've been going deliberately to very small shows, in a controllable atmosphere, mostly outdoors.
I don't
And
think I would want to be in the jazz tent at New Orleans except on the side.
right,
Like
exactly.
in the
Yeah,
like when I can get backstage on the side.
Yeah,
little bleachers in the
yeah,
back.
yeah.
But in the
Well,
middle of the crowd of that,
yeah, yeah. No,
sitting
that's
there,
yeah, yeah. Unless you know that that no one around you is infected, and how do you know? Unless it's everything is tested insanely rigorously, which seems pretty impossible in a situation like Jazz Fest at the very least. What freaked me out these last few weeks was several members of the New York Yankees tested positive
oh
and
God.
had to quarantine for a week or whatever the MLB. Uh, and these guys have been incredibly controlled. They have been, but I guess once they leave the stadium, nothing can be 100% controlled.
Right. And that's true. Yeah, it's so bad as to not be hospitalized, maybe, Mary, depending on
Yeah,
how your immune system handled the vaccine in the first place.
yeah. That I mean, people with compromised immune systems will always be at risk of being less protected, but the stats have been that it still remains at like 99%
Right.
of new infections are among unvaccinated, and the vast majority of of breakthrough infections of the already vaccinated have not led to extremely serious consequences or
But
death.
I don't
So
even
that
want to get sick again.
no, I don't.
That's the
I
thing.
would
I'm like, I don't want
well,
COVID again. I had
no,
COVID. I did
yeah,
that. I did it
yeah.
for a month. I don't.
Yeah, no, yeah, nobody wants to get sick ever. In this
Well,
situation,
some people go, well, if I catch a cold and I get your thing and
yeah,
and
yeah,
I'm like, whatever, it's no big deal.
yeah, yeah, you can't be entirely protected from anything, but we don't have polio here anymore for a reason. We don't have smallpox here anymore for a reason. So you have to put, a certain amount of stock in science because science has proven, the weapon. So it's crazy to just deny that. But yeah, we don't know all the answers, but we know some of them, and we need to keep learning more of them. You know.
I saw this meme today, and it was. I'll just post it because it's better to visually see it than not. But anyway, yeah, that's true. A whole lot of people don't know what planet they're on.
I have my doubts sometimes. Um,
What's your hat? I can't see it.
oh, it's head count, which is the
Oh,
wonderful democracy defending voter registration organization. And right now, they are, in addition to continue to register voters, they are very much in the thick of the battle to push back some of these horrible voter suppression laws that are being passed all over the place, you know, which are all being promoted as voting integrity, laws, but that's a joke. The people who are pushing those laws are the people who are the most pushing voter fraud. They are promoting voter fraud by pretending to protect voter integrity. And it's nuts. So Headcount's a great organization. I've worked with them continuously since their inception. They have been involved in all the Dead and Company tours. They set up booths at the venues,
mhm.
so the people can register, so they can get informed, you know, and it's I have so much respect for them. They've done a lot of tremendous work, and I'll be working with them again on this tour. So promoting their work.
So what
Yeah,
else do you
Melody.
put on your hamburger anyway?
Oh, this I'm a classicist. I thought of having some grilled onions, but I
Yeah, I
decided
knew. I was wondering if you were a grilled onion guy.
I love grilled onions on bread. I didn't do it tonight. I got a little less elaborate. Did the classic cheddar, the ketchup, the and the. Sometimes I'll put on Peter Luger steak sauce instead of ketchup, but even wasn't that fancy tonight. But I did put on some of the beloved Amish wedding relish.
And then do you have like a chip with this? Mary?
I had some chips, just some chips.
Good night, Patty. Um,
Night, Patty.
I'm thinking food. I bought some 8-year cheddar today
Yeah.
from the cheese guy. I ended up sneaking over to the cheese guy. My cousin and her husband, who live in New Jersey, were in town, and he's a Marine, and so we went out to the cemetery where my great my great grandparents are my grandparents out, my father and my brother,
Wow.
and many other relatives are there.
Yeah, I
And
saw
he
the pictures.
played
Yeah.
taps, and it was really cool. Black
Hmm.
Crows at Tinley Park. It sounded. Oh yeah, some I saw some people that were going to see the Black Crows tonight.
Yeah, yeah, they're back on tour. Yeah, all the tours are underway. I'm hearing reports from Fish Tour. Friends are out there. Um,
String cheese, fish.
String Cheese. Yeah, there's
Dave Matthews is in Chicago tonight
yeah,
or
there's a
tomorrow,
lot
maybe.
going on, and I just hope for everyone's safety. I hope for everyone to have a great time because people have been craving this and wanting it and loving it. Um, so it's uh, it's a very strange, unsettling thing to like want live music so much, and then to have to like sort of stand back and say, how much do I want live music?
Well,
I am.
go ahead.
Sorry. Well,
No,
I still am on track to go to the Wilco show here in Queens, Forest Hills, um, 2 weeks from tonight. Third row center seats.
wow.
Just and I am just going to do everything. I'll be masked up at the show. I'll get a COVID test before I go to the show. I will just be very careful, keep my distance to the greatest extent possible. Um, and I feel okay about it. I mean, my immune system is pretty robust, always has been. And I've had no signs that I'm feeling, at all ill
Good.
since I got vaxxed. So, oh, Carl, yeah, I was going. The Rolling Stones are going on tour without Charlie Watts, which
I know. It's not the
impossible.
Stones. I'm sorry. It's not the Stones without Charlie Watts.
It seems impossible. I mean,
I love Charlie. I've opened for Charlie at the Fillmore. He's
yeah,
so cool.
no,
He's like,
Charlie's, he's the heart of that band.
he really is.
People,
I'm sorry.
people,
Everyone
people,
thinks it's Mick or Keith.
and yeah,
It's Charlie Watts. How do you
yeah.
go on tour without Charlie Watts? I'm
Well,
sorry.
because he actually encouraged the band to do it,
Well, of course he did.
and he's 80 years old, and at a certain point, I mean, every band has to make the decision. Is like, do we continue without this member or that member or whatever? Because people die or people retire. Um, if Charlie's cool with it, I mean, I can't imagine it. But let me state, Steve Jordan is a monster. Steve
He
Jordan is
is.
an incredible drummer. I actually saw Keith Richards more engaged in music with Steve Jordan on drums when Keith toured with the Expensive Winos. You know, that was actually Keith was like more his true self than I've seen him in the Stones for years. You know, because it was sort of Keith on his own terms. So I'm not. I mean, to me, it's like, yeah, the Stones without Charlie just is like a total. It
Well, and I kind of
doesn't
feel that
compute.
way about ZZ Top. We didn't really talk about Dusty.
Oh yeah,
I,
yeah,
I'm a huge ZZ Top fan. I've seen
yeah.
them a few times. The last time I
Uh-huh,
saw them was at Jazz Fest in a mud
uh-huh,
fest.
uh-huh.
But that's like, you know, and they're doing it. They're on tour right now.
Apparently that was also Dusty's wish
Yeah.
that they go on. And in a sense I completely agree with that. The Sun Ra Orchestra is like making incredible music without Sun Ra,
Right.
and have been doing it for like 20, 28 years now without Sonny. But it's in a way it's like saying he's still in the house. This guy is still in the band. You know,
Yeah,
and
they're honoring him because
yeah,
it's his groove, it's his thing.
yeah,
But
yeah, and so that's one of the constants of art. Is that
yeah, it's not a money thing. I mean,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
totally
Well,
not a
with the
money, but it's
well,
a
well
money
with
thing
the
for the rest of their.
with the Stones, it's always a money thing. I mean, the Stones are a pretty cold-blooded business operation.
Well,
You know,
yeah, but it's not
you
like
know.
they need the money.
No,
But
no, of course
their
not.
corporation, they
Yeah.
gotta they pay a lot of people.
Well, they actually do only when they go on tour. I don't know how many people the Rolling Stones have on payroll full time
Okay.
because they tour so sporadically. Um, I always got the sense. I mean, there were tours the Rolling Stones did where Mick and Keith like never spoke to each other off stage. The hostilities between them were so great, and you figure the motivation for this tour was the accountant saying, "Yeah, Mick, the chateau in the south of France needs some payments or whatever." And okay, we're going on tour. There's a certain calculation to the Rolling Stones that I've always sort of, it's always smelled a little funny to me, but they're still the damn Rolling Stones, and they do what they do exceptionally well, you know. I haven't had any compelling interest to see them in a long time. It's not
I
like
think I saw him last time I saw him was 20 years ago.
yeah. I saw them in 2006 was my most recent one, and it was a fun show. It was. I mean, they were in good spirits. It was Madison Square Garden, and New York kind of brings it out in them. So I had fun, but it wasn't like, oh, this is they're not. They haven't had anything new to say to me, and part of their appeal is that they don't have anything new to say to their audience.
Right, because we know every song is going to be a hit. But I'm not going
Yeah.
to go to Jazz Fest that day and pay the extra money to
Oh
go
no, no,
see the Stones.
no. It's
And
it's
that's what
it's
they
just
do. When the Stones were going to be there 2 years ago,
they have their own
before they
day.
had a tavern, they
Yeah,
had their own day
yeah.
at Jazz Fest, and it was
Same here this time
like
too.
200, $300 or something
Yeah,
for a
yeah,
regular ticket. I'm like,
yeah, yeah. I don't need that. That's not why you come to Jazz Fest. Yeah. So more power to them. It'll be weird without Charlie. Steve Jordan will kick ass. Steve Jordan and Daryl Jones playing together will be pretty cool. You know, just people can take it for what it's worth.
that's true. Well, I'm going to ask you a question a little early today because I'm kind of sleepy.
Oh, me too. Yeah,
All right. Um, what are you doing next Saturday night?
well, it appears that given that much of my summer is now going to be spent remotely at home, and I'll tell you more about that. I think next Saturday night is one of many that I will be on 11/11 with Jenna.
I had a thought.
You had a thought? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know I had
Audience,
to.
calm down.
I
You had
had to call, I had to cut them off.
you had a thought?
Dave Love in the house. Dave
Hello.
Love. Dave got out of jail. So
Oh man.
we were all we. There were a few of us we collectively. Some people ended up in Facebook jail the other night.
Uh-huh.
So anyway, he's back and better than ever.
Good.
Um, what were we talking about? Oh,
You,
I know it's kind of a late night thing. Oh, where am I performing? I'm performing tomorrow afternoon at 3 p.m. in St.
right.
Joseph, right on the corner of South State and Main, in the driveway of my friends. And then next Saturday, I'm performing 2 shows with David Long. Tomorrow's is with Tom Costanzo, and next week is with David Long. Both tomorrow's Sunday, and then next Saturday. Do you ever eat late night?
Oh sure. I mean, in New York, it's kind of part of the vibe. It's. I mean, when I'm
Do you ever
out,
cook late night?
um, generally not cook. I mean, I might get a craving for something, pretty late in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I was
like
just
we're-
thinking how fun it might be to do a show from while you're making something sometime
oh, yeah. That
in
after
the
11,
kitchen with Gary. Is that a
after
little too
11,
late?
after 11:11 would be a bit late for me to be going into the
Okay.
kitchen, but
See me, I'll cook at 2,
yeah,
3, 4,
yeah.
4:30. Then maybe I'll cut it off. But okay,
Mhm.
I was just checking.
All right.
What are your if you were to have something late at night? What is your craving?
Um, you know,
If you're home.
if I'm home, I have to think about that. Sometimes I'll just like if I have a little pang, if I didn't have like a full dinner, if I hadn't eaten since lunch, it might just be peanut butter on some bread or something.
Are you a
just
cereal guy?
I'm a cereal guy. Yeah, I do cereal.
What's your
Uh,
cereals of choice?
I really like the kashi vanilla, like little shredded wheat with vanilla flavoring, is
Okay.
a fave of mine. And I've been doing the overnight oats. Like the overnight oats, and
Overnight.
that's yeah, I guess that qualifies as cereal, even though it's not traditional in a bowl.
I
But
like to eat. I'll eat oatmeal at night sometimes, later
I
at
like
night.
oat.
It's
Yeah, I
very
like oatmeal.
calming.
And yeah, I do. And I do cereal. I'll put some fresh fruit on my cereal. Sometimes bananas, especially when I have 36 of them. And I like blueberries on my cereal. I like raspberries on my cereal. Sometimes I'll get fancy and slice up some medjool dates and put them on my cereal.
Ooh.
Those are very good.
Now I'll put dates in the oats, but I've
Yeah,
never thought about an actual. What a nice texture that would give for.
it really does. And
I
and I
like
do
that.
I do dates in my overnight oats too. Yeah,
Oh yeah, for sure.
yeah.
So I got to go back. Carol and Rob, you saw them outside
In
October 4th.
Edmonton,
Whatever.
that's crazy.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy that you're going to be here next week. And I
Well,
want to
sure.
remind everyone, including you, invite you to this too, because are you a poetry guy?
I like poetry. I don't write it, but I like it.
You ever read it?
Um, it's been a long time since I've read much poetry. I'll pull out an old favorite, every now and then, but I haven't really avidly read poetry in some time. I should. I go back to the beats. I go back to Ginsberg and Diane de Prima and them. Lawrence Ferlinghetti was like a god to me.
Totally. Well, Sunday nights, tomorrow morning is Alex Martinez, but Sunday nights we're doing Poetry Glam. So if you're ever feeling in the mood to read a little poetry, we're,
Okay,
we have a poetry reading tomorrow night.
I like that.
And
I
my
like that.
friend Gloria Weberg is going to be here reading Mary Oliver. And I'm
Okay.
going to read something, I'm not sure what. Maybe Carl, who knows, but might just be Gloria and I don't know. Hint,
All
hint,
right.
everybody. Poetry
Great.
Glam tomorrow night. And then Monday's meandering, and then we have meditation and Andy and some other guests coming on next week. I'm super excited about. So, but I'm really equally excited that you're coming back tomorrow night or next Saturday night.
Yeah, it was very uncertain, like what my summer. I mean, it still isn't totally certain, but I thought my summer might be a lot more distracted than it may turn out to be. Actually, well, I'll know more. I'll let you in on stuff as I know more. There may be some times, depending on various time zones that things are happening, where what I have to do may be in conflict with 11:11. But I think I can probably swing it at least, as many Saturdays as I can.
Cool, whatever you can make. That's okay, Gary or Jeff. 11 inning Giants game.
Oh yeah.
I had my Hawks shirt on today. I wore my Hawks shirt today.
All right.
Go Hawks.
Hey Jeff.
Go Giants.
And Jessica Springsteen, silver medal in equestrian.
Really?
Do you know about this? Bruce's daughter.
No, is that his daughter?
Yes, Bruce's daughter made the American equestrian team, and they just won the silver medal.
Yeah. I didn't know that was his daughter. I
Yeah,
know some people on the dressage, in the
yeah,
dressage.
uh-huh.
Wow, that's his daughter?
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah. So,
I've been out of the
congratulations.
loop. I've been out of the loop of Olympic.
I have not watched a minute of the Olympics. I've seen clips on the news and I've seen little bits online and stuff, but I have not. In a way, I'm boycotting because I think the International Olympic Committee is a pretty vile organization, and I thought holding these games was a bit,
Yeah.
ridiculous. And yeah,
Put so many people's lives in jeopardy for that is
that's
really.
the thing. So many people dedicate their lives to doing that stuff, and I have absolute, respect. Oh God, and the way people came down on Simone Biles was just, horrific. I can't even. I don't even want to get to how mad that makes me. But yeah, yeah,
Afraid, fearful people.
yeah.
They don't want to see somebody admitting that they're, you know, they have the spinnies. What do they call it? What did she call it?
Uh, uh, yeah.
The
The something like that. Yeah,
Twisties, the twisties.
The twisties, which is like the yips in other sports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dressage was really cool. Katie's trainer and other good friend were on the dressage team.
Hmm.
So,
Yes, Jeff, I could too on that
yeah.
topic.
Yeah.
Um, you know, and it especially seems to be it falls in particular on athletes of color. You know, going back to Tommy Smith and John Carlos at the Olympics in '68. You know,
Well, okay, I won't start. I'll just stop now.
okay,
I wore a
yeah.
hat today and I wore it for a really long time and I have a, do you guys ever get a
Oh, like
dent
a little
in,
mark, a
yeah,
little yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
still
It's
there.
okay.
I have a dent
It's
in
cool.
my,
It's okay.
it's my new, it's the new look.
Dig it. Yeah, yeah. People, everyone will want one now. How do I
I
get
have
a
a
dent?
friend
They'll ask.
at one time, I won't say who it is because some people might know him. We were joking around. He worked at Fantasy Studios and he put on this, one of those suction, it looked like it was a faucet.
Oh, right.
And he was like, "What? I'm just gonna put it on my head." And he put it on like this on his head, and it stuck.
Oh, yeah.
And he
That can be
couldn't get
really.
it off. He couldn't get it off for like we had all gone to lunch, and then we came back, and he still had it on his head. And finally, somebody got it off, and it left this big red, kind of essentially hickey on his forehead. And it was his son's wedding was that weekend, pre
Did he?
Photoshop. But
Right.
anyway, well, thank you, Gary Lambert.
Thank you, Jenna Mammina.
I'm excited to hear about your news of next week.
Yeah, I'll have more details. Everything will be wrapped up, and I'll be able to report what I think is going to be pretty cool.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy everybody was here tonight. We managed to be coast to coast and kind of saturated. We had two people from Texas tonight, Dave and Jim.
Oh, good.
That's cool. Yeah.
Good.
Yay. Carol, Canada. I did an independent study course at last week college about the corruption of the international sport and there.
Hmm. Wow. That's a whole other topic for
And I'm
conversation.
sure she encouraged them to wear bikini bottoms. Okay, I'll stop.
Yeah.
Do you have a letter, Gary?
A letter?
Can you give me a letter?
Any letter?
Any letter.
R is okay with me.
R.
Mhm.
Oh, Gary Lambert. It is one more Saturday night with you. I'm so happy. Gary Lambert, you make me run upstairs too. And I gotta say, hey, thank you all for being here tonight. And I hope you all sleep really tight. And you stay safe, stay healthy, and love hard. I hope you have romantic thoughts in your head and a real cool words from your mouth and from your heart. I hope that you have a really, 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 really full of a really, 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 really full heart. A really, 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 really Gary Lambert kind of heart because I think you have one of the biggest ever in this world.
Ah.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, back at you, pal.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, good to
Robust.
see.
Robust. There's always the words come. Thank you, Lisa. Everybody have a really great night. Thank you, Gary
Yes.
Lambert. We'll see you next Saturday night. And Jeff Metzger, one more Saturday morning. Gary Lambert, one more Saturday night. That's a
All
wrap.
right. Love you all.
Love you. See ya. Love hard. really, 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 really hard.